Ready? Thank you for attending. Firstly, I'd just like to go through a quick bit of health and safety with you. So just be aware I can't see you and I can't adjust your body. So be mindful of what you're doing. Try and listen to my prompts and only do what your body lets you do. So if you're feeling a little bit stiff today, then just take it easy, take it gently and allow your body to slowly come into pose. If you've got any water around, make sure you have your water close to hand and keep taking sips and just take it to your ability. Today's class, I've planned to do the first section on the back. We're going to do some work to mobilise the back. Then we're going to move on to the tummy. So we're going to do a little bit of work on strengthening the tummy. And then after that, we'll do a nice shavasana and we're going to go to the Bluebell Woods. There's a lovely woods not far from where I live. Went there yesterday and the bluebells have all started to come up. So I thought I'd take you on an imaginary trip into my Bluebell Woods. So let's get started. So sit yourself up, cross-legged, and sit nice and tall. And just think about your hands coming onto the floor. We're just going to rest our hands onto our knees and bring your shoulders back and down. Just try and open your shoulders a little bit more through here. And if you feel any tension, just be aware of not putting too much tension through your shoulders. Allow your neck to be strong and tall. And just close your eyes. Just breathe nice and gently. So just keep breathing in and out through your nose. Keep those tummy muscles engaged, pushing your sit bones into the floor. Just breathe nice and gently. Keep breathing, keep feeling the chest expanding as you breathe. Really feel those lungs filling with air. And as you exhale, allow the lungs and the ribs to relax. Just breathing gently in and out through your nose. Oh, my tummy just rumbled there. Sorry about that. So open your eyes. And we're going to come into doing some work on warming up our backs. So we're going to start by coming onto our knees. If you suffer with any tightness in your knees and kneeling on the floor, then you can always put a cushion under your knees. So coming into tabletop, we're just going to bring our knees shoulder width apart and bring our hands underneath our shoulders. So I'm going to prompt you slightly different doing cat and cow today. We're going to come into cow first. So what I'd like you to think about doing first is pushing your hands into the floor. Make sure your palms are nice and strong and you want to kind of open your shoulders a little bit. I want you to think about pushing your chest forward. So you're pushing your chest towards the front of your mat. You're not lifting your back, you're not arching your back, you're pushing your chest forward. So you may be able to see that I've got a slight curve appearing in my back. Now, I want you to think about your bottom. So I want you to push your bottom up towards the sky. So you're kind of pushing away. You push your knees into the floor, push your bottom up to the sky. And then bring your head to look forward. Really pushing those arms into the floor. Now while you're here, take deep breaths. Feel the arch in your back. Really push your bottom away. Don't let go. Squeeze your glutes. Push your bottom away. And then we're going to come back to neutral. So just bring your back into a neutral position. Nice and flat. So now we're going to come into cat. And instead of doing it where you tuck the tailbone under, what I want you to think about is sucking your core right up towards the sky. So pull it, keep it strong, keep your hands pushed into the floor, knees pushed into the floor, and kind of suck your ribs, your core all the way in. So you're pushing your core into your back. Really use the core to stretch you rather than your chest. You may not get so much of a stretch out of it. You're really squeezing the tummy in and then bring it back down. So what I noticed myself is that I pushed from here, and instead of normally my shoulders would be up. It was more my lower back was pushing up rather than my upper back. So I'm squeezing right in here, trying to suck my belly towards the sky. So then bring that back. And we're going to carry on doing a few more of those. So think about coming into cow. As you inhale, you're pushing the chest forward first, bottom back second, lift the head, push the hands and the knees into the floor. So you really feel like you're trying to stretch the vertebrae away from each other. And then we're going to exhale. So coming from this position, engage your core muscles and squeeze your core muscles in all the way around your spine, from the sides, the back, front, all the way, pushing that up towards the sky. Look down with your head. Just take a few breaths. Really squeeze that belly up to the sky. And we're going to do that again. So coming down, release back into neutral. As you inhale, push your chest forward. Open your chest. Get your chest into position. Then push your bottom back towards the back of the room. Keep your arms strong, your legs strong. Bring your head to look forward. And we do that again. So as you exhale, suck your belly button in. Really squeeze it towards the sky. Push your core in towards the spine. Really arching your back. Using your belly, squashing your belly in. Try and flatten the belly. And then bring back to a neutral position. Lovely. So maybe think about how we would normally do cat and cow and see whether you can feel any difference. So we're going to do what I would normally do for a cat and cow to see whether you can feel any difference. So we're going to come into cow first. So what I would normally suggest is tuck your tailbone down, push your back down towards the floor, and then lift your chest up or look up. So I wouldn't actually tell you to push your chest forward. And so for me, I don't feel the stretch in my lower back. I just feel it around my shoulder blades and around the top of my ribs. As you exhale, I would then say tuck your tailbone under and arch your back towards the sky. And I'm pushing up with the top half of my back, my neck coming down. So again, I'm not feeling the stretch in my lower back. I'm feeling this all the way through the tops here. It's coming into this part of my back rather than this part where I felt it earlier. And then bring that to neutral. So if you now understand the difference, let's do cat and cow one more time. So coming into cow, I want you to push your chest forward, open your heart towards the front of the room. Now I want you to push your glutes and your bottom towards the back of the room. Looking forward, push your hands into the floor, your legs into the floor, your knees into the floor. Really squeeze that bottom, really feel that stretch coming into your lower back. And then one more time. We're going to take the core, squeeze your core up towards the sky, push your spine up using your core, really push the core up, allow the head to come down. Feel that stretch coming into a different place. Push your hands into the floor, knees into the floor. And slowly bring your back to a nice neutral position. Well done. So we're going to move on to another move now. So just come off your hands and just give your wrists a nice little shake. So we're going to come up to standing. So bring yourself up to standing. And we're going to do a forward bend. So I just chopped my head off, sorry. We're going to inhale, take the arms up to the sky. Exhale, swan dive your hands down to the floor. And just allow yourself to relax. It's the first time we've done it. the back and the belly up a little bit. So just allow your hands to gently hang down, your neck to hang down. Just slowly feel your hands coming down towards the floor. Just relaxing. So we did that move when we were in cat, where we squeeze the belly towards the spine. And that's what I'd like you to think about doing now. If your hamstrings feel really tight, you can always bend your knees. But if you look here, what I'm looking to do is create space here. So I'm looking to push my tummy up to the sky. So I'm pushing my belly in and I've created some space. And that's just squeezing my core in, squeezing my muscles in. And then slowly. Just allow the belly to don't hold the belly in anymore. Just be aware of the stretch through the back of your hamstrings. So we're going to come up to half lift now. We're going to open up the same way as we did with cow at the beginning, where I want you to think about pushing your chest towards the floor, but then pushing your body up. So you're pushing the chest forward rather than trying to straighten the back. You're trying to push the chest forward, coming up to that strong position. Push your feet into the floor and push your chest forward rather than anything else. And then we're going to lower it. Lovely. Allow your head to relax. If you can, bring your hands to the floor. Remember, soften the knees if the hamstrings are feeling tight. And then we're going to do the version of cat that we did just now. So you're going to think about creating space all the way through your tummy here. So as you inhale, squeeze your belly towards your spine. Try and get an arch into the spine. Your head is in neutral. It's hanging down, relaxed. Creating space in this section here. And then as you exhale, lower yourself down towards the floor. We're going to do another version of half lift. So think about just pushing your chest forward, only your chest. You're opening your chest up and you're bringing your neck to a nice neutral position. Really push that chest forward. Think about pushing your back behind you as well, trying to lengthen out the back. I can feel that really pulling in my hamstrings as soon as I get my bottom involved. And then relax the head, relax down, come down to the floor. And then when you're ready, we're going to inhale and come up to the sky. So inhale up to the sky. Bring your hands together, bring your hands into your heart centre and bring them down. Lovely. So just give your legs a little shake. And if you've got any water, please feel free to take some water. Cool. So we're going to come back into that forward bend. So inhale, take your hands up to the sky. Exhale, bring your hands down to the floor. Now you really do need to have your hands on the floor. So if you need to bend the knees, please do so. And we're going to take I'm going to take my front leg forward so I can turn sideways. You just take one leg back. So if you could take the left leg back, bring the leg up towards the sky. And I want you to think opening that belly space again. So you want to push the back up towards the sky. Really push the back up. And then as you inhale, bring the knee towards the nose. And then push the leg up to the sky. Really open that tummy up. Really squeeze in here. Push the core towards your spine. And then you're going to bring that forward. Doesn't matter if you bend the other leg. Bring it back up. Push your core right up towards the sky. And you're going to bring onto the floor. And we're going to swap to the other side. I'm just turning around. So you're coming back into a three-legged down forward bend.
So as you inhale, lift the right leg up to the sky and think about the space in your tummy again. So squeeze your tummy towards the sky. And then as you bring yourself down, bring your knee forward. And as you exhale, back up to the sky. Create that space by your belly, really squeeze it in, relax your neck. Keep the knee soft if you need to. One more time, bring down towards your nose. And bring it back up. Squeeze your belly towards your spine. And then bring your leg down to the floor. So place your hands onto the floor. We're going to step back into downward dog. Just allow yourself to take your bottom up towards the sky. Just paddle your feet out if you need to. Just bending the knee towards the chest. And then we come into plank position. So bring yourself into plank. Then if you want to, bring the knees to the floor and slowly lower ourselves down, laying our fronts down onto the floor. Okay, so we're going to do a cobra, but we're going to do a slightly different form of cobra today. So instead of having cobra where your hands are right underneath your shoulders, I'm going to ask you to take your hands out just to the side of your mat. So both hands are on the edge of the mat, right by the side of your chest. Come up onto your tips. And what I want you to do with your cobra is lengthen your legs away from you, engage those tummy muscles. And instead of using your arms to push you up, which you quite often do in cobra, I want you to push your chest forward and bring your shoulder blades down your back. If you feel comfortable in this position, then stay here. If you feel this is just at the edge of what you can do, stay here. If you want to come with me a little bit more, you can maybe move your hands back, maybe 1 inch or 2 inches, and then push the chest further. It's the chest doing the work, not the arms. I'm just supporting myself. And as you exhale, lower your head down to the floor. Bring your hands back in line with your chest on the outside of your mat. And we're going to do that again. So as you bring your fingertips onto the floor and push your chest up. Really push your chest forward, bring your shoulders back. So if you notice my arms are low, my arms aren't up here. I've got my shoulder blades down. And if you want to, bring your hands back a little bit more. Use your chest to pull you up. You should feel this stretch coming all the way through your back, through your lower back muscles. Well, it's quite a strong one. And then slowly lower your head to the floor. Because this is quite a strong one, we're just going to have a rest. So just put your hand underneath your forehead. So your hands are like that, and you're just putting your head to the floor, laying in a nice straight line. So just take a breath or two, get your heart rate down. Just keep breathing nice. And while we're on the floor, we're going to do a movement that's a little bit different. So if you were to think about downward dog, you would push your bottom up to the sky. So what I want you to think about doing is, I'm just going to keep my arms out of the way. So put your hands so that you're, like we just did, your hands are in line with your chest, but they're on the mat this time, and your shoulders are down. So if you can see, my elbows aren't out to the side. My elbows are tucked into my side. So we're just putting our head to the floor. What I want you to think about doing, remember this is a back section. I want you to think about your bottom. I want you to think about taking your glutes, your bottom muscles, and pushing your bottom up to the sky. So if you look, my hips have come off the floor and my bottom is in the sky. And then you're going to lower that down to the floor. Going to do that again. So as you inhale, just push your bottom muscles up to the sky, really pushing up as high as you can. Create that gap underneath. And the hands are just resting. And lower your body down to the floor. It's not a big movement. Maybe a couple of inches I'm getting off the floor, or a couple of centimetres, maybe 5 centimetres. We're going to do that again. Add something into it. So, as you inhale, push your bottom up to the sky. Really think about your core muscles. And now I want you to push your hands into the floor and try and open your chest off the floor. So you've got a real stretch coming through the back. Now be careful if your back feels really tight. We're using the top half of the back muscles and the bottom half of the back muscles and your bottom to keep you in position. And as you exhale, just lower it all down to the floor. Just kick your bottom and up from side to side. And we're going to do that. So as you push your bottom up to the sky, push your hands into the floor, keep your arms nice and level, lift your chest and your head so you're pulling your chest off the floor, stretching through your back. Just keep breathing. And as you exhale, lower your head and your bottom down to the floor. And again, just give it a nice little wiggle. And we're going to come up to a seated position. So just tuck your toes under, push back into tabletop, and then bring yourself round into a seated position. So I'm just going to sit sideways so you can see what I'm doing. We're just going to sit cross-legged. You can sit with your legs out in front of you if you want, perfectly fine. We're going to do cat and cow, but seated. So we're going to take our palms together, intertwine our fingers, and take our hands out in front of us. We're going to inhale, hands up to the sky. And as you exhale, hands down, and you want to think about pushing your belly towards your spine. So you're curving the back over. I don't know whether I've got my angle right there. Not sure. Can't see where you can see. So you want to be pushing forward with you're pushing your belly into your spine. And you're pushing your hands away from you, creating a really nice arch. And then from here, we're going to come into forward push. So you're going to bring the body back to a straight position, lift the arms up to the sky, and think about trying to open your chest up towards the sky. So you're pulling your chest up. It's not a very big bend. And then lower your arms down to the floor. And we're going to do that. So bring your hands together, intertwine the fingers, push your fingers out. Inhale, lift up to the sky. Exhale, bring your hands down. And then push your belly towards the back of the room. You're pushing your belly backwards. You might find that your tailbone tucks under and you're looking down towards your pelvis. Then inhale. Bring your body nice and straight. Bring your hands up to the sky and open your chest. Push your chest up towards the sky. And as you exhale, release your
chest, bring your hands down towards the floor. And we're going to do that one more time. Bring your hands together, twine your fingers in your lap. As you exhale, push your hands forward. Inhale, bring your hands to the sky. Exhale, bring them back so that they're in line with the floor. And push your back out. Push your belly out behind your spine, arching your back, looking down towards your pelvis. Then inhale, come back to the center, lift your arms to the sky, and push your chest up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, bring your head forward, lower your arms down. Lovely. So that concludes all the stretching and work for our back. Hope that was okay for you. We're now going to look to doing some work on our tummy. So I'm just going to take my jumper off. If you need to take some water or anything like that, please do so. Making sure I'm not showing my belly off as I'm doing it. Excellent. So we're going to start by laying on our backs. So if you lay yourself on your back, so laying on your back, I want you to have your knees bent and I want your feet coming to the floor. I want your little toes to be right on the edge of your mat. If you haven't got a mat and you're laying on the floor, then you should be able to see your feet outside of your bottom. Make sure your head's nice and neutral, just gently tucked down. And we're going to take our arms into cactus position. So cactus position is like that with your arms on the floor. So feet out nice and wide and allow yourself to put your hands into cactus. So if you're anything like me, you may notice there's a gap here. That means I've got some kind of restriction. It's either in my arm or it's in my shoulder, and that's stopping me from putting my arm to the floor. So if I push my arm to the floor, I can get it there, but I can't normally. But on the other side, I've got my palm flat to the floor. So what we're going to do is taking our left knee towards our right foot. So you're really pushing the right knee down as if you're trying to reach the toes with it. So you're really stretching through the front of the left thigh and allowing the body to twist over. We're going to inhale, bring the legs back to the center. And as you exhale, point your right knee towards your left foot, really pushing those out, really stretching it down. Doesn't matter if your knee gets to the floor, the intention is to really stretch out the front of your thigh rather than getting the knee to the floor. Keep your shoulders on the floor, feel this stretch coming through your tummy, through the side of your back. Inhale, bring it back to the center. We're going to do that one more time on either side. So as you exhale, take your left knee towards your right foot. Really push that knee away from you, lengthening through your spine. Feel that rotation coming in, keeping your shoulders, your elbows, and your palms to the floor, or the backs of your palms to the floor. And we're going to bring them back. And exhale over one more time, pushing your right knee towards your left foot. Really push that knee down, 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 down. And bring it back, coming on up. Lovely, excellent. We're going to just bring the knees up to our chest, hands to the knees, and just squeeze the knees gently into the chest, rocking up and down, squeezing your knees into your chest. And then we're going to take our feet back to the floor. So, if you were into Pilates, we talk about, they talk about quite a lot in Pilates about finding neutral.
And it's really important to be able to find neutral when you're doing work on your tummy. So if your back is really arched and you can get your hands right underneath your back, then your back is way too arched. If your back is laying flat to the floor, then your back is at the other end. So the top of the range is an arched back, the bottom of the range is a flat back. You want to go somewhere between. So you kind of want to rock the belly backwards and forwards, just trying to find where you think's neutral. So my neutral, just get my fingertips underneath my back. And now I want to engage my core. So I want to pull my belly down towards my spine. And I want you to think of your hands being in that cactus position again, but I want your feet a little bit closer together. So we're just going to take our left leg up to the sky. And as you exhale, you're lowering it down. You want to keep your spine neutral. Think about your spine and your core staying long as you lower the leg down to the floor. But don't put the leg down. Hold the tension in the leg, hold the tension in the belly, and then lift the leg back up. And we're just going to do that a couple of times on the same side. Really squeeze the belly in, squeeze your glute muscles to help lift your belly. And I want you to think about keeping your belly and your body nice and straight. So as you lift the leg, you don't want to be twisting the body or movement in the body. The body stays nice and still. So just keep lifting on your inhale and exhale on your lower. We're going to do two more. Inhale up and exhale. And then inhale, breathe, so the foot comes to the floor. Make sure you've still got your arms in cactus, because we're just trying to open the chest. But having the arms up, your chest is open, and it means your ribs are open. So it's a really nice, good stretch for the whole area around the ribs. Let's do the other leg now. So inhale, lift the leg to the sky. Make sure your core is nicely engaged, squeeze your core muscles, and your body is still in neutral. Your back's not flat to the floor and it's not too arched. On your next exhale, take your leg down towards the floor. And as you inhale, bring the leg back up. Take the leg down. Really squeeze the belly towards the spine. And lift the leg. Exhale the leg down. Keep that spine engaged. Really engage it. Really squeeze the spine and the belly together. And inhale. The leg up. Keep going. Exhale down. Squeeze the belly towards the spine. Inhale up. Exhale down. Squeeze the belly. Keep squeezing, and then lift the leg back up. Place the foot to the floor. Well done. So we're going to do some work on our arms now, and I want you to think about your belly again. So you want your belly to be nice and engaged, back nice and neutral, squeezing your belly down towards your spine. So bring your arms up in front of you, shoulders on the floor, and we're going to do alternate arms. So we're going to do one arm at a time, alternate arms. We're going to take the left arm down to the floor, bringing it down behind you. Keep that belly engaged. It's important to keep the belly engaged. And inhale, lift the arm up. Reset your belly, keep your back neutral, and then take your arm back towards the floor. And then bring it back. We're just going to do that to your own breath. So as you exhale, you take it down. And as you inhale, you might find one shoulder's harder than the other, one side's harder than the other, but just do it to where it works for you. You don't have to get your hands to the floor. Really squeeze your belly towards your spine. And what I'm finding is that my bottom muscles are really tight as well. Exhale your left arm down. Inhale the left. Keep that belly squeezed tight. Right arm down as you exhale. And then inhale. So now we're going to alternate arms with the legs. So we're going to lift our legs off the floor and bring them into an upside down tabletop. And you're going to squeeze your belly into the floor, squeeze it. You're going to take your left leg down to the floor and your right arm down to the floor. Really squeeze the belly in. And inhale, breathe. Just set yourself back up again, squeeze the belly. Do the opposite side. Inhale back. Exhale the other side. Squeeze that belly towards the floor. This is a tough one. I can feel myself shaking already. Inhale, bring it back to the centre. We're going to do one more on either side. Push the leg down, keep that belly really engaged, and bring it back to. And as you exhale, go to the other side. Bring it back to. And you are allowed to need a nice little hug. Just rock them from side to side. Hope you're feeling that in your tummy. Because I certainly did. Whew. So, an interesting thing that I've discovered, and I don't know whether you can hear this, but when I lift my right leg up and I take my right leg down, I get a thud as I go towards the floor. So I'm going to see if you can hear it. So I'm going quiet. Okay. So what's happening there is something in my hip is either connecting with my spine or my thigh bone is connecting with my hip. And I have never worked out what it is. It's just a thud in my hip. But if I squeeze my core really strong and do the same movement again, I don't get the click. So I'm going to try and do that live just to show you. But then I don't know whether you can hear the click anyway. So I'm going to lift the leg up. I'm squeezing my core down to my spine and I'm just taking the leg down. I'm keeping squeezing. I'm pushing my back into the floor, bringing it down all the way, all the way. Oh, it clicked right as I got to the bottom. Didn't work. Never mind. So we're going to stay on the floor. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to do some little crunches. So keeping your knees bent and your back to the floor, you want to engage your core, feet off the floor. So all we're aiming to do is keep the knees nice and bent and we're going to engage the core, keep that neutral spine. And all I want you to do is think about lifting your hands and reaching for your feet. So you're reaching down towards the feet and then you're coming back. So the exhale should be the squeeze towards your feet and the inhale should be the lay down. So inhale now, exhale, go towards the feet. Squeeze the belly in, inhale down. Exhale, coming up into that little crunch position. Keep your neck nice and neutral. Exhale, lowering down. If you find that you can't keep your head up because the strength in your neck isn't good, you can always put your hands behind your head as a resting point. So you're not using the hands to pull the head up. You're just supporting the head. So as you exhale, you're coming forward. Inhale, laying the neck down. The hands are purely there for support. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, lifting up. Inhale, coming down. If you want to, you can still use the arms towards the feet. Exhaling towards the feet. Inhaling down. We're going to do two more. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. And inhale. And again, just squeeze your knees towards your chest. Rock yourself from side to side. You're doing an amazing job. So we're going to lay on our sides now. So bring yourself into a straight position. So hopefully you can still see me. Arm out by the side of you with your head rested on your arm and body nice and straight if you can. So we're just going to cover my belly, and we're just going to take our hands in front of our chest. So it's there as a support. You might need this to start with, to do it. So what we're going to do is just do a leg lift to start with. So just a simple leg lift. You're just going to lift the leg up, keep the leg straight, don't take it too far, and lower it down. So think about your tummy muscles. Think about squeezing that navel towards the spine. Inhale the leg up. Exhale the leg down. We're just going to do a few of those. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Keep going. Let's do 2 more. And lower the foot. So now we're going to change the position. I want you to think about turning your toes down. So I was doing it like that. Now I want the toes to be pointing down. So the toe will come to the floor with the foot pointed. You're going to lift again. So this is going to take the movement into the top of the thigh. You're going to feel that much more up here. So hand to balance you. You're going to inhale, lift the leg up. Exhale it down. Inhale, lift the leg. Exhale down. Squeeze the tummy muscles towards the spine. Really feel like your body's as straight as it can be. Lifting up. Exhale down. 1 more. Inhale up. Exhale down. Okay, so now I want you to think about your leg being straighter, and you want to bring the leg forward a bit. So the leg's probably about 30 degrees in front of the other leg. So you're going to lift the leg. This is where your balance from this hand comes into its action. It's trying to keep you upright, keep that leg out in front of you, because otherwise what will happen is you'll roll forward. So really use this hand and really use your core muscles to pull the leg up. So bring it forward, about 30 degrees. Inhale up, exhale down. If this is too strong for you, you can always bend the knee and bring the leg forward slightly, just lifting up. Or you can stop. I know you all like a challenge. Just keep lifting up, lifting down, lifting up, lifting down. Okay, stay there at that angle if you want. If not, you can always bring the leg forward even more and lift up and lift up. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. We're going to do 3 more. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up. Squeeze those tummy muscles. Keep them squeezed. Inhale up and exhale down. And slowly take the leg back. And if you're anything like me, this bit here needs a nice little rub now. Lovely, well done. We are going to move to the other side. So up to you. You either roll over on your back or you turn over. Depends on whether you can see me or not. You might not want to see me. Lay yourself out nice and long again. Nice straight legs. Think about that belly button. Try and squeeze it towards the spine so your back is nice and straight. Palm out to balance your front. We're just going to start with a nice easy lift. Lowering it down. So inhale up. Exhale down. Really think about squeezing your belly in and coming down. Inhale up. And again. I'm going to do 1 more. Okay, so now we're going to turn the toes down. Lift the leg again. One more of these. Exhale down. And then we're going to take the foot slightly forward. So you can bend the knee forward if you want and lift with the bent knee. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Or you can straighten the leg out in front of you and lift up. So the leg lifts up in front of you. It doesn't come back to the same the upright position. It stays forward, coming up, coming down. Squeeze those tummy muscles in. Keep thinking about the tummy muscles. Whew. More. And if you want to, if not, you can bring the leg forward a little bit more and then lift up and down. Doing 5 more. Exhale down. 4. Exhale down. Inhale up to 3. And 2. And 1. And then lower the leg down, bring it back. And you deserve a nice little rub here. Well done. So, do one more movement on working on our tummies. So, I'm going to just move back a little bit so you can see me, because I want you to be able to see my hands. So what I want you to be able to do is bring your hands out in front of you. You still can't see my hands. So your head is to the floor. You're going to come up onto your fingertips. And I want you to think about lifting your chest forward. So really lift forward with your chest, like we did in the moves earlier today. So you're lifting forward. I want you to think about pushing your hamstrings and your legs down away from you. So you almost straighten the knees up. And you want to kind of push the bottom down towards the hamstrings. You don't want the bottom squeezed. You're pushing the hamstrings and the bottom down away from you. Holding this position, we're just going to breathe in and out through the nose. Really feel your shoulders really strong. And as you exhale, your head to the floor. Just bring your hands underneath your head. Relax your hands and relax your body. And we're going to do that again. So, bring your arms out in front of you, onto your fingertips. We're going to lift, lifting the chest forward, looking towards your hands. Think about pushing your hamstrings away from you and your bottom muscles away from you. And this time we're going to lift one leg. So you're going to lift the leg up, squeeze the belly muscles, and lower the leg down. Inhale, lift the other leg up. Really squeeze your belly button towards your spine and lower down. Keep those legs nice and long, pushing your hamstrings and your bottom away from you. Inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale, lower. Inhale, the right leg. Exhale, the right leg, sorry. Do that again one more time on either side. Inhale, the left leg. Exhale, lower it. Push the chest forward, keep the belly tight, lift the right leg. Exhale, lower it down, and lower your body down. Well done. Just wiggle your bottom from side to side. And we're going to come up. So come up onto your fingertips, head stays on the floor, lengthen your arms, but keep your shoulders away from your ears. Inhale, push your chest forward, rather than arching your back, push your chest forward. Looking forward towards your hands, lengthen your legs away from you, feel the hamstrings really stretching and your bottom pushing down so that your tummy muscles start to engage. And this time, we're going to go for both legs. Lift them up. Really push the chest forward, engage those tummy muscles, give them a squeeze, lengthen your legs away from you for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower. Well done. Just put your hands underneath your head and allow your body to relax onto the floor, relaxing all those muscles down. Well done. We're going to sit back into child's pose. So once you've got your breath, we're coming back into child's child's pose. So hands underneath your shoulders. Push back onto your knees. We're going to bring our knees nice and wide to the outside of your mat. If you haven't got a mat, 2 inches, 2 feet apart. Bring the toes together, the big toes together, and push your bottom down towards your heels. Just allow your arms to come forward. Just relax onto the floor. We've done quite a lot of work on your belly and your back. A nice counter pose to relax your back. Just take a few more breaths. We're just relaxing into the floor, allowing your back to relax. And you'll be pleased to know it's now time for Shavasana. So come on up. Bring yourself up and bring yourself onto your back. If you want to take some water just before you lay onto the floor, have some water. Make sure you've got your towel close by so you can put your towel over your eyes. Lovely. So just put yourself onto the floor. Allow yourself to lay nice and relaxed. Now, if you're anywhere near the sofa, it's really nice to put your legs up onto the sofa so that your legs come up to this level and your knees are bent. I think I mentioned this last week, so yeah, it's a really good idea. A lot of people like doing it. It's just relaxing. Takes the pressure out of your back as well, because laying in Shavasana can be quite tough on your back if your back's not feeling great. So allow your legs out slightly, depending on whether your legs are on the floor or on the sofa, depends on the angle that your feet will relax out. So just bring them to where's comfortable for you. Just breathing in and out through your nose, inhaling and exhaling. Think about tucking your chin ever so slightly towards your chest, and if you've not already done so, put the towel over your eyes. And I want you to imagine that I've come and put my hands on top of your shoulders, and I'm just gently pushing your shoulders into the floor. If you've been to a quiet class when I've done that before, I might gently whisper into your ears to allow your arms to come away from the side of your body to relax your shoulders into the floor. We hold a lot of stiffness and tightness through the backs of our shoulder blades. So by allowing the arms to come out, it might allow the shoulders to come down to the floor a little bit more. So sitting, laying gently on the floor, let's first of all focus on our breathing. Trying to calm the mind, close off those thoughts that run rampant through your head. And just inhale and exhale. So at the beginning of the class, I said I was going to take you on a journey to my bluebell woods. So you're on a footpath which has been grass originally, and that has been eroded down to a mud or a gravel footpath. It's not a muddy path, it's dry mud, and you've just got a nice pair of walking boots or trainers. And the branches and the trees are close to the path, and they overgrow over the top of the path. But you don't have to duck down. It's just enclosed, blocking the sunshine or the rain from you and your. It's a narrow path, you can only
walk one person through at a time. And you're just going to gently walk one foot in front of the other. There's not much to see, just the path and the trees, but you can see the life coming into the trees. There's buds and flowers shooting everywhere. There's lots of growth around the bottom of the trees, brambles, little acorns, little plants all sort of popping their way through the ground. And there's loads of wildlife. Butterflies and birds, the sound of the birds. There's a beauty to behold. And I like the sound of the birds. It just makes me feel calm. As they get on with their daily life, their focus is on finding food. Or maybe building a nest. So we just continue to walk, and we walk around, and the path is still a mud trail going through the undergrowth, but the trees have started to widen away from us a little bit, and the trees are a little bit more spaced. And you'll slowly start to watch the greenery on the floor becomes more intense. And originally we saw the bramble and a few weeds growing, but now we're starting to see structure of plants growing on the floor. And the colours are starting to come in. So you might see a few little purple flowers, maybe some wild violets or violas, kind of like a pansy with a big flowered head. And then more greenery, more undergrowth. It's all kind of short, only maybe 30 centimetres or 6 inches. And as we walk a little bit further, the eyes are looking round and gazing. There's more brambles, and we start to see a few more plants. So there's some little white daisies, not the daisies you get on the grass in your garden, but kind of a tall plant coming up, maybe about half a metre or a couple of feet, with a beautiful white flower with a little yellow middle to it. But it's a bigger flower, it's much more beautiful. And you stop and you gaze and you watch as the insects fly and buzz around, collecting pollen. And we spotted something else. There's a beautiful little yellow flower, almost the same sort of shape as the daisy. Lower down, but a single flower of a single plant. You can see the beautiful shine of the petals as almost a glimmer of sun catches them. We are in the woods and there's not a lot of sun getting through, but when it does, it really shows the yellow of these flowers. We just discovered another little white flower. It's almost like a bell. It's hanging down and the flower is opening, and as it opens, the flower is opening up towards the sky, reaching out for light and sunlight. The backs of the flower petals have got a slight pinkness to them, but they're beautiful, and you're just amazed by the flowers as you walk through the woods. And the white flowers, there's more of them. And as you look from side to side, the white is just in abundance. It's just glorious. So interspersed with the green of the leaves and the trees heading up towards the sky. And you just keep walking a few more steps. And we've come to a fallen tree coming over the top of the path. So we carefully step over the the fallen tree. Walk between the arch of two other trees as they're kind of curving in. And you carry on up over the roots of the tree as it's a little bit of a slope. And you carry on walking the path. And that's when the view hits you of thousands and thousands of blue, purple bluebells. It's like a carpet of purple interspersed with green, and it's just breathtaking. You breathe in, you can almost smell the flowers. You inhale and exhale. All the worries that you had have melted away, and you feel calm, relaxed, and you can almost feel that tingle of the hairs on the back of your neck standing up as if a cold breeze has rushed over you, because the beauty of the sight that you behold can have such an amazing impact on your body. Let's just allow ourselves a few moments to stare in wonder at this woods full of bluebells. So let's just allow some life to come into the body by moving your fingers and toes, and maybe just move gently from side to side. Just allow a few more breaths, and then we're going to bring our knee towards our chest. So inhale, bring your left knee towards your chest. And as you exhale, bring your right knee towards your chest and hug the knees into your body. Just gently rock from side to side. And if you've got your legs up against the sofa, just be mindful of how you bring yourselves up. And if your legs are on the floor, just bring yourself up to a seated position. If your blood pressure is low, come to the left before you come up. And if it's high, roll to the right and come up that way. Bring yourself up to a seated position and allow your legs to cross. Just keep your breathing nice and calm. And sit up all the way from your sit bones on the floor, all the way up to the crown of your head, sitting nice and tall. Bring your hands to breathing gently in and out through your legs. I hope you feel an inner calmness from your bluebell walk. And I hope that your back, tummy, feel worked. I give you praise. Thank you for joining. Om Shanti. Namaste.